wapia wakumeni mwasi wachetia menumu samso aha akamirisho miniswe tisesubura Yesu mami mai wana suodino senka minisho tisesubura Suwa mami chese mima ya suodino akamirisho miniswe tise subura Yesu mami mai ona suodino because yes, Nabia Mamu. Ye me quetirino, a chirifu, Messana Mababie, Namabe Famu, the Mwako baby, and me one on and so, be my young girl. A kaka creepy, a chirifu, Nani of Evanwaba. Akaka krepi na Yesu Kristo po Akaka krepi na Yesu ajimpano abo Yesu bimayambo Ankaminiso Tisasubura Ankamesuwa mamima Tese bimayasu odino Akamirisho miniswe tise subura Yesu mami mai wana suodino Oh, Regina den ewo hihemu atemu Apire mumei eteye boni edi aha airi roba adentina udonko yo Meso mami mai wana suodino Nyo tini nyo yefi Sase muwei yemi arehu sempa Makatia, Bemo Biarase, and Numatie, Beso Mami Mai, one of what what a washa see, Miniano, or Bokwe, Mumemu. Ye, Ubetina, a water upon Naru. And to show ye, the yes, drink Panova. Mami, mi maya suonino, akamirisho, miniswa, Yesu mami mai, ona suonino, senka minisho, tisa subura. Suburan Anka Mesua Mami my Tresen Mimaya Suodino Anka Miniso Miniswe Tise Suburan Eswa Mami my Wana Suodino Anka Miniso Tise Suburan Anka Mesua Mami my Mimaya Suodino Anka Miniso Miniswe Tise Suburan Eswa Mami mai Suburan Anka Mesua Mami my Tresen Mimaya Suodino Anka Miniso Miniswe Tise Suburan Eswa Mami mai Wana Suodino Anka Miniso Tise Suburan Anka Mesua Mami mai Mimaya Suodino Anka Miniso Miniswe Tise Suburan Eswa Mami mai Wana Suodino Cho ewo radio sudimu yekidi se radio da roma mo hoye sana yenso ye hoye ewo the studios of Amamba TV live Kumasi Jumadien eye Almost Home Evangelical Group and the Prophecy Seekers Ministries and akabum at the hidden from the masses ebro Jumadie we so eye Jumadia ye ka ehinta samoa nipa pie sasa wote efo wo ho nanso wo hunu no ye biebie so wa ha na ye de watwra to video ana pictures a dear dancers a dear na ye kano enie na ye kan se so wugidi a ebeboa amohu ebra ye drumu e wiase abakose mu ene nwure ye maye nyina akwaba bedincha emodin mame mame bia free wase kropon chi o mame facha me refude no kakra nanso megidi se me boy no wate eno awrade nhyira sabi o mame pania obrumfie aduoson na opese wode kakra onya ebeboa madwumadi akwa anim yakopon hira papa ene adofo ahodo nyina me kasa me jebra bobom nyina din anhwa ese esa akoto eta no wana aka ho na megide se mo ye saa no awrade ahu awrade hira papa bosumi mu matera mo nsam aboa ema eka emmene ye no awrade adom yeguso okon na megide se nkakrakra yebetimi akwa ma yanim ada ho momo line no da so e wo screen so 0592 41 2244 0592 412244 osandi sika edieba eye kofi dwa apia yedamose medenche ma hwefo nyina mo ahwe free enkran esrem ene babia outside Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire ene mo amwo South Africa, Germany, USA mo nyina ye chem anwumre me kamfo o Tech School of Journalism and Communication Studies amount sa enen central adwuma no aye so lucrative eche se ayefe ede unya adwuma ye na je se unya school papa me yetetew okra good brand a watete wa na school watete wa opa adwuma wo mre na the best school in Ghana as well as our Central region is concerned o Tech School of Journalism and Communication Studies ombama diploma in journalism obetimi dia toaso akoye degree 2 years ewo university bia ewo manyimu entibra bibia fan central ho no onkyerɛw obasa kyerɛw graphic design eno kwa ye adwumasu abaako na kyerɛ ode ebo bra nti wokra wasi SSC any A-level certificate and now what the 25 years and above ni nyina obetimi abeschool was start a new admission enche bia no obestart new admission nti bra na betwe udin na yɛmfa nka wo mu a ɛba foforɔ no ho na etimi abo from 0547 823 005 0547 823 005 and 0243 842 007 0243 842 007 ade a ya na sɛ onipa ade nsae na esumoduru wo ene sɛ ade nsae na nso wani hu no hwe enifra ɛto kwamu a wabrabɔ bɛya ya entintwɛn ma enifra no ma enti na meka kyerɛ sɛ wo ani ho hawa fa Chris Faith Natural Hair Clinic na yɛma wɔ bibiduru a ɛbɛboa ma wani yare no ɛtai pese so ani so no ɛbɛwa yɛ firi hɔ ɛbɛkɔ yɛmfa se kan kan anaasɛ wanya kɔmpɔ ama wobɛde mpo abɔtaa ɔbaa nya kɔmpɔ wodrɛse sɛdeɛ yɛ a na pimu mmirim ɛnyɛ fɛ saa yɛbɛmu aduru ama nanane yɛwɔ bi wɔ hɔ a bɛrima wontimi nhyɛ trouser wɔhyɛ nso agye sɛ ɛneɛ waa wonim wakye beewa ne nyinaa ɔbɛmu bibiduro amene firi hɔ brɛbɔ mu cancer ɔwɔ ho aduro paa ɛtwerɛ yareɛ ɛtwerɛ egu nipa anim ase ɛno nkoa ne yare a obi a yɛde saa na busua nyinaa awerɛ ho sabe obi nya malaria yɛnkasa na busua nyinaa yɛ ayarefo nanso twerɛ nkoa deɛ ɛmmɔkora mama wo fie nya awadeɛ timisrɛw ɛmfa nhyɛ dɛm kɔ Chris Faith Natural Hair Clinic ɛmma aduro na asie ntu kora kokumasie putieja station hɔ no a ne nhwɛ ni mpɛ ɛhɔ na Dr. Abraham ɛne ne ba Dr. Isaac aka bɔ mu a ɔde bibiduro etu yare asie enti bɔmɔden ne tutumirika na ayaresa ɛwɔ hɔ nkaso obi na atɔde yɛ wɔ onko hɔ ntia okɔ a ɛbɛma na ɔde mpae bɔkora bɛtaa wɔ kyia masa efiri ahohomfi a ne nyinaa asie betu from 0555 639659 0555 639659 na 0242 386584 0242 386584 and 0505 852739 Chris Faith Natural Hair Clinic ɛhɔ na wayaresa onsa betumi aka na wasum adwowo ɛna nwumre yi yɛkɔ behind the climate change agenda ɛhɔ ne yenenam ɛna yɛhunu ɛnwom baako wiase nyinaa ɛtoɔ asɛm baako wiase nyinaa ka ama yɛnya kasa baako pɛ ɛmfɔm nsa ntɔkwa ɛkɔso Middle East ɛne Russia ne Ukraine ɛdwom baako pɛ na obi ɛtoɔ ɛne sɛ climate change this week on say asaso so asi wiase wem no menim na dodo bebrebe na anoma ewu a yɛsɛ climate change obi yare a climate change asaso so a climate change everything climate change what behind the climate change agenda ɛhɔ nene yɛde wo fɛ enti yɛka sɛ mo yɛ krado a yɛnso yɛ krado bra wo koma ase na yɛmɔmpae ɔsapaka ne anɔkye ɛne ɛbɔbɔ mpae
Eja one sem ye de nkwa ne crash. Ayo ado ye no mo hunti. Ena obi na me mani ewie bi. Ewi ase ayi ntasem. Ena ana mo nko aso awi na di. E de ahwefo ne atifo adwen no nko ma hye wo nsa. So bi oti na fidi ho hwe no nyi hira. Mo nso ti a wo ka bi nkyira fofo. Enumere yi besua de a eben ye ne ankasa. Ewade me ye ni na ho ye ntia de sua ase. E wo Jesus Christ di. Amen.
Ene enwumre meka na sɛ team no enyina ɛwɔ ha ɔsampaka ne anɔkye na watene nka dada no ɛna ɔsampaka ne Matthew Donko midin de ɔsampaka ne Augustine apia beden chair mami nua aten sɛ din yɛ right Salome menim ɔwɔ Western region no ha. In fact I pray say decision na what take no ɛwrade no anya oboafo yemu bia ntimi mmoa wo efisɛ yentimi nhunu ɔhaw no so deep chain ne ɔbɔ wo na wonim wo no na me mpae bɔ no sɛ ɔbɛma wasere na kai sɛ always there is a light after the tunnel so owura bon bia mu na wopia ɛbɔn no mu de ho yesum na bon na chidie ana tokro na chidie ya na ɛhan wo ho efisɛ awia bɛbɔ ɛwrade nka ho bɛda sepi ayɛde a wɔbɛyɛ enyamsen kan sɛ yentumi mfa dwumadi no ntram from ɛwrade nhya papa bɛda se abɛda form mmakɔ aba me gire sɛ ɛwrade ada wo ma ho yɛ ɛda ɛwrade ase ɛda no kye ɛkyerɛ te sɛ
me na ese bisa chiriti so me bi down ho
ah so okoi nti for how many bobra hoboko oh okay
22nd me started abontem putu ijapo abontem
oh okay
and you could see
okay 10 days all right 22nd November all right yeah there ready as na chese mfa be ukwade be yana ukwade be all right Ada Matthew ya mwako aba
Adam Pacho mejo.
Me diri se Awurade adaroma ho ye.
Yankopon adaroma.
Yeah, Awurade ase. And then so Awurade ya che na ye be heard behind the climate change agenda. Minim bibi wo ha be cancer na Awurade hye no.
Adam mema atiefo nyina happy Sabbath.
Okay.
So Yankopon se o man ho nkonkron enkoso mu wiase ho ban. Ona aka kire se obekuram kusi se obeso ne nkrofo ano.
Okay.
Yeso Awurade so ba sa aboshe ne mrem. Na ye ne atiefo nyina ye ne nim adom.
Ede Awurade ase. And na ye to ya desua no so behind the climate change agenda. And ye ne Awurade wo mai
Ede Yankopon ase. Ada.
Yes sir.
And that climate change no. Sir, you ready budget?
Yes.
Budget no obi e ka ho asem. Ghana budget obi our interest.
Oh yeah.
Footballers for interest.
Yes. Obi a wo baby ehia no.
Accounts for no tax for no.
Omo baby o interest.
Say they want to say you mo kan sanitary tax sanitary part sanitary
tax yes.
Omo ho interest. Ana abanya koka say car obi the car ye progo eba obekeso man for kan budget no me so mo ho interest.
Okay.
Sounds wo ho interest.
Aye. Obi a wade ne de.
Na do ka kire yen say ye citizens, ye spectators.
Yes, we should be. We should be.
And the budget no de obi a wo ho interest.
Waka na say use electric na mo interest
And on for next 8 years, so what the electric vehicle be aba Ghana untia import duty. Yeah.
And in program na kasa ni Ghana and the climate change.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ghana.
Okay.
And young come from ho. And Ghana.
Answer me tell what say if you say sometimes in maybe wa wo kan ya na be bradwin say Ghana de ase yen ka ho ase de ase ha ani nti me gidi say the right direction.
Yeah. Enra 15th. Ohia chronicle enuma.
Okay.
Obo unse chronicle sro ho left. Omo motoye no. Obo unse President Baumia. Vice President.
Yes.
Ne yire air champion say e mavu manu ntum.
Oh yes. Yes. Me ankasa me kai bi. Yeah.
O kind dispatch nso a. Ne nyina front page.
Eda ho.
Climate change. Enti Ghana papers no week dodo no ano climate change. Na ye pese ene ye be rest wo Ghana. Okay. Na climate change na ye ka say. O can Luke chapter 25 verse 21 hona. 21-25.
Yes.
Climate change no. Eye ne esuafo no ko bisa Yesu say. Omunchire Yesu ne beye ne maye no ho
ensenchene. Right.
Na Kristo ka kire won say ensenchene no ebeba wo wiem ti omunhwe wo wia.
Okay.
Omunhwe bosome na omunhwe ensonoma. Omu wia nipa ho amanaman ho behihia won. Okay. Na saa ne ma no koso a eponso ebema ye ensenchene to ka say epu behuru. Epu betra na hye. Okay. Epu bedin samone. Ano kan se saa ne man start say koso a ehu ebeba nipa ma akomemu. Yes. Na se ehu no eba saa ne ma ne nyina ekoso a ye behu se onyankopon ba no enam na nimonyam enam ewiemu epie ne senti no ye nyankopon krofo no se yehu edu saa bre no a ye mpagya ye ne nhwe soro. Okay. If we say na ye gie aben. Okay. Yes Kristo na akasa. All right. Anna asema wo kan ye no abam. na eba mu no na science for akoto ade din se efe no climate
na chese de owo ne ba no eto ne din kofiapia
yes
na obi so o wenti wakofre no tola okay
lansa na wo be ye saade no omu di kan de ko share se nyankopon de obi akata awie ne efe no ozone layer
okay
eno na atete eno ya hwa de kro
okay
tie se ozone layer no atete nti no se awia no ebo a ahoden na wo se ba no esa epie sa afamuko
okay
omo frɛ no say frɛ no greenhouse effect
okay
na ni effect ne kase ne say the global warming
neba
abewie mu ayehye na wie mu na ayehye no ne hye ne mmoroso no ana frɛ no climate change
okay
ana nansan yɛn holy see abɛka kyerɛ sɛ climate change kura no yatra say do climate crisis
do climate crisis
yes
and so change the musuo
yes
okay
ti when na adisam ka kyerɛ sɛ se wiase du sabre no a wiase ni mu nipa nyinaa benya adwen baako na o ma hwehwɛ sɛ sɛ ne ade ne si kɔ no nipa ya adwena pem tie nyinaa yɛ nkɔpɛ nipa baako na o medi yɛ so ti o ka sɛ wiase nyinaa de o mu tumi na bible kyerɛ sɛ saa system ne bedi yɛ so yɛ fɛ no beast na oba wɔde saa afori nyinaa bɛka abom ne oguama no
abɛko
ɛne oguama no akyidifoɔ no aba abɛko
okay
ne nyinaa yɛ ewiase nhyehyɛ a ɛkɔ so a ɛsɔre tia onyankopɔn asɛm
okay
na no na emu meetings no mu na bibi ɛfɛ no sustainable development goal epie
okay
wode yɛdi kan kekan ya nti we de asɛ yɛbɔ ne tɔfa na yɛhwɛ mu kyerɛ sɛ Ghana ɛna da saa deɛ na no
in terms of advocacy
yes
ho da wubo yema ni panti ase no
yes
okay
Ghana ana da no sisi na Akufo-Addo Ghana mampanyini ana da no
okay
na sisi ano se yi na firi hɔ de a mente but ye minimum say every 2016 say 2016 obeye na obaye
Mahama na ye
na Mahama any no way gen prime minister ana na ye co-chair
yes
ti Mahama see from 2016 no ana na do ebeteki da seat
yes
o free ho no order so eteso ye nyante amanebo
fufu say yasesa
no yeah
enti Ghana ewo dwumadie na eda ehia ye gina Ghana
okay
asem ba Ghana News Agency 20th January 2022 yeah
Mr. Mamenkai Omanfo say dwumadie no na Mac TV GH on YouTube Mac TV GH Mac ne MAC now the TV GH asoso eho na ye streaming live no efa era mo asemo a mo pese mo hwe online no nyina eho enanam edasipi baso yenko
enti assembly PA 20th January 2022
okay
ewo Ghana News Agency
okay
assembly nyina ne say Ghana to start climate plan implementation first quarter of 2022 quarter bia so no how many months 4 months and every January February March April first quarter and 2022 and Ghana ebe start e de nhyehyɛ a efa climate change ho ebe ye adwuma na say na paper ne kan no
okay
I say Ghana will commence preparatory activities towards the implementation of its nationally determined contributions NDCs, a climate plan which has 47 adaptation and mitigation measures in the first quarter of 2022.
Ochirimo anacheza Ghana ebehye na hombo ase ene niema obeye a ebeboa mo tumede ne ofra implementation of its national determined contribution NDCs a efa climate change nhyehyɛ ho no a ewo atrapoye aduanan son niema obefa so obetimi ede aye adwuma ate ohawa ede ba no so ewo first quarter afi 2022 mo
first quarter no nkwa
and 47 no mchase ohun say so sustainable development goal and kasa na 10 17 first quarter 4 months no Ghana nko kuta 47
adaptation plan.
Yes.
NDC
17
no party NDC
we NDCs yes
sa NDC we no na se kire ne say enhyehyeye a oman bia e fa so a ode beboa me de aso climate change no ano no and e fan determined contributions that's the nationally determined oman bia de to we de obia nkobo say na Ghana de ne de he obia nkobo ti wo say the NDCs are climate plans put together by countries
okay.
in line with Article 4 of the Paris Agreement and UN Framework Convention Climate Change, that is the UNFCCC decisions. Nti ekwan obi abefa so abaha. So Paris Agreement no mu na saa ye say no wo Article 4 and the say o ma bia nkyere kwan a obefa so a obebo the climate change ho ban. Ana Ghana de yes akoye de first quarter no ye but ye de started the year juma 2022 but madwen me say nipanim
2022 ye ko sign
2015 and a sign climate
dabi 2022 na maame ha na tete ko sign
and 2022 2015 and na maame ha na tete ne former Accra mayor oko echo Paris meeting 2015 affirmation 2015 yes Sabrina former president Mahama and good
entino saadie we nu a ekoso no edensesa bebre aba wo man mu
okay
but bebre nu nim etomre bia ho omo ebirum nte system na ekoso wo wiase we na
okay
ni ade a ehu no
ento mbetena radio so ni TV so a omo kasa bebrebe
okay
what I say wonu see the budget we buy obi anka climate change ho asem as climate change no budget no capital sanitary pad nkwa no muka what I say it will be our one interest
no oh yes
na ne kwani afi say ka budget bank nkrofo be freying because who pobo mu champion climate change ya ye ka hu bi o ma
yes
but obi an frey ya mi say ye hwe e chese budget na nkasa na buy no be bri ni ma de kro
say wono dia am yan frey no climate change o kire ni nti ai wo with bible ono so no wonim say ye normal thing
or the scientific ayi bi na
e chese climate change we no aba no yesu ma ye budget we yesu ma ye wo mu minister no capture yesu ma ye e dia share climate budget ni mu afa wo say in accordance with the tenets of Article 4 of the Paris Agreement and UN Framework, UNFCCC, Ghana updated its NDCs, which was passed by Cabinet, approved by President Nana Addo, deposited at the UNFCCC Secretariat, and outdoor at COP26.
That's what I say. Ghana, Nana Montua, what to the NDCs, Cabinet a year. Abedwafo a say umutu abanfo no wo mo age atum nana adodan kwakufo ado ye president wono so de nsa sha ase enom de akọ UNFCCC secretariat eno wo amanone a wo mo akoda no wodi e wo COP26 ni emfie be mienu atwamu ya enti na che say Ghana wumpa
eti ohun say wan fan ko to parliament o
Dabi.
Yeah, I update you. You're passing by cabinet, you know.
Go straight
from cabinet. And I just know where are you, Nekasa? Are you for Neka? Ghana Web,
and Nekasa.
Ghana updated its NDCs, which was passed by cabinet, not parliament. And the cabinet, you know, a passing your pet. Anna, president, I'll prove we. You will prove we and your muscle. Near the to UNFCCC. Secretariat. Based on information that way. Now, Ada,
Minia.
Omo update you know. Men can who sika no ha, and on your massam.
Okay.
Yes, and your mind was Anti Paris Agreement, United Nations, 2015. Article 2.
Okay.
Article 2 no. Ana etre yen enema bi.
Okay.
Say holding the increase in the global average temperature. And in the organizer article 2 no try and say, Yamo modern say a wiemu eshiano. Ye better so every 2 degrees Celsius. At the about at least 1.5 degrees Celsius.
Oh, yeah.
What I say?
No correct.
Now, Sasa Adiano Eba. A better way than some baby Abba.
Okay.
Now, and did you say? Tamwa Omuye Ghana, you know. GBC the report by. Eti Yansha and someone
GBC the
GBC edituda.
Okay.
And the Nam Ghana here and the new to Gukra.
Okay.
Enti into GBC first video.
All right. Production share sound on MIA.
Discourse on climate change has different dimensions. The most important aspect of it is that the majority of nations across the world have committed to tackling it by, quote, reducing the current global temperature to a 2 degrees Celsius minimum, well below pre-industrial levels, and pursuing efforts to limit the temperature increase to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, unquote. That is why excellently determined contributions, NDCs, towards combating climate change have been fully incorporated into government's coordinated program for economic and social development policies 2017 to 2024.
You better GBC News I say you the credit amount for this video.
You better to us.
All right.
The entire map person say according to president actually say sa NDC no NDC no sa national determined contributions
yes
o the we are seeing na use
yes
na eno and between 2017 to 2024 economic policies
yes
eno ekwan ye fa so dia be boy ye de no ho ban no eno na ye de aye economic policies and I mean some repeat it
yeah
okay
sir every 2017
yeah
ebesi sabri ade ekoso wo Ghana bia no ne fa climate change ho economic yire eno ne de ye niema wa ha
yes don't also forget to say ne ye de economic policies no e budget without budget you don't have any economic policy
yes
mpata what must
no correct
it means say if 2017 ebesi 2024 budget bia ye ne Ghana ha se bia no ayin shim no nationally determined
NDC
shim I don't need
nationally determined contributions
I don't need a policy ya de ebe Ghana a control
everything
climate
change
president
na economic policy no eno ahwa ne nam what you say etina me kasa budget no a abeto ho no ni panto omubu ase ansa no makasa because one tin yema we ase a on ti budget no ase oh okay
me pato ne me kan what you say
no problem pa
because say 2023 ni ye lu 2024 afeni ya 2024 budget it means that ni o budget we ye behwem enwu say NDCs ne bi hwem ana
all right okay no I'm say I have for half dream by your mokese say you budget ni mu a da o mo read no o kan electrical no wa na me yam shame
sa
so
ode nya botre
me ko ba ke budget say o kan na mo yam shame
say bibi besi
na so bibi besi
oh okay o because bibi be ba no okay
eti hu say se won ti ade we ase a obegye budget no watin
yeah
because say ene ye de be economic policies economic policy bia so no e budget ni from 2017
yes
e kwesi 2024 the 2024 dey na abai
why say entwem 2024 na always omo ba 2024 na always
because I was say bibia take effect before 2025
that is my point because omo was before 2025
yes
that's just say
and what can we say e wi ase nyina o
yes
and yenti no
yento aso na yenti no yanko screen so production
An aspect of it is that the majority of nations across the world have committed to tackling it by, quote, reducing the current global temperature to a 2 degrees Celsius minimum, well below pre-industrial levels, and pursuing efforts to limit the temperature increase to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, unquote. That is why Ghana's nationally determined contributions, NDCs, towards combating climate change have been fully incorporated into government's coordinated program for economic and social development policies, 2017 to 2024. Though the discourse on climate change has different dimensions, the most important aspect of it is that the majority of nations across the world have committed to tackling it by, quote, reducing the current global temperature to a 2 degrees Celsius minimum, well below pre-industrial levels, and pursuing efforts to limit the temperature increase to 1.5 degrees.
By quote to just Okotu, we are simply for.
All right.
Most especially from United Nations. And the course are hold. Yes.
Good. Good.
UTV so they report to be by. TNT UTV for so.
Okay.
Where I was say economic and social development policies. What's that? Say a budget.
A budget. Economic, social, and developmental policies.
Policies.
Anything budget.
A budget. What you say?
Okay.
Okay. You had you are.
All right.
Yes, I'm a sample for Kushia to Atwagini. I therefore we must sakra and to your own Samso. Nanika Muno that to Jim. So, my Ghana, Yana, you will said we are singing Akabu, I say a crabacono. And it's in Omanga near Benny say. A we must sacrano, a bay from the Diabua, and which you Puntuni and Canconi and Sikasam to Chiasono, a bay Amanacodeni.
Madam Chair, Your Excellencies, climate change is the greatest threat to the realization of the Sustainable Development Goals. It has enormous impact on the fundamentals required for our survival on Earth, and that is why we have converged in Glasgow. Even though we in Africa are the least of the contributors to this phenomenon, responsible for less than 4% of the global volume of carbon emissions, we suffer the most because our agrarian and resource-driven economies are peculiarly susceptible to the effects of climate change, and our capacity to withhold its shocks is weak. Agriculture, water, energy, and the extraction of mineral resources are essential drivers of developments in our countries, but at the same time are characteristically sensitive to changing climate. The African Development Bank has stated that the continent will need some $3 trillion United States dollars mitigation and adaptation by 2030 to enable us implement our nationally determined contributions.
Right, you better you UTV for us. Yeah, credit to Omo with this video.
Oma in the experience.
Okay. Okay, good.
Or say ansana ye be to me adapting ya mitigate climate change. You say 3 trillion US dollars before the year 2030. And some now share headline be a UTV they buy.
Okay.
So you know more question pa.
You will combat climate change.
Yes.
But protect Ghana's development as well.
We will. Yeah. That is the meaning. We will combat climate change.
Yeah, but climate change, you know.
But protect Ghana's development as well.
Okay.
And nothing to say.
Not just say Ghana puntu so na yesa obo by.
It means say climate change no ba combat na different.
Yes.
The word but near conjunction.
Yes.
What I say?
Matthias.
Komakra saba. We will combat climate change.
And wo ho.
Nanso so
Ghana puntu no.
The meaning is say climate change na ye combat no emu do sene Ghana development aduane de member will be adi nanso so
this so consume
what I say aye condition aye na enti saade no menim se me na mente ase de a
and we wo
yeah
but Ghana interest so yebebem development na bako so na che say climate change no ye kono ye inevitable inevitable yeah
oh chese ye ni wo climate change no ho dodo sene
Ghana development
esa climate change na anye ya development na way
no correct
enti nti ayeka we ni say climate change no a take the center of the world no
yes
is very very important
yeah yeah can we yemfa Ghana ha pra de there's a climate change no woni na say wo ye bibi tia na
yes
there's a wo ye bonsam chin obia e chin say wo say economy
oh yes reasons no say what my job catch us okay fanasa Ghana yakosi flaster houses impoano anase ye wo ejapade akese wo mpoano na climate change nti eporo yiri befa o development no enko ba bia na nse a Ghana wonim se nipa bebe kure nim se na wotwe asase wo so asi Ghana wo
yeah
na wotwe asase wo so asi Ghana nti so nipa ne mra bi ba ma na protect sa ade no a ade nti na yenye no ntum nchen edan ya wo bi si anase school ayesi nti
there is issues about climate change no nipanya very careful
yes so huge
yes we will combat climate change but protect Ghana's development as well.
Yes.
What has he?
No correct.
Okay. Yanko yenimanya. Ada. Nansen
okay.
4th to I think it's 6 September year 2023. Africa Climate Summit. Ekosu Kenya. And I say again how kwani gina.
Okay.
Asem bia president bia kan Kenya bia me wo.
But ye ka Ghana de.
Ye ka Ghana nko ade e Ghana ya na wo. Enti nana adodankwa se no mu tworo no nyam na ma tworo ne sa.
Okay.
Me am try come the president no ba. Ba se no mu tworo no.
Okay.
Nana adodankwa Africa Summit on Climate Change 2023 4th September kenti yenkotie. Ghana president.
Ye copy in your pasty.
Yes.
Yemfa bi nko ka ho no be ko kase ye ne tworo ye.
Ya bi.
Ya che.
O we say o ka kire yen say. Nationally determined contributions no.
Yes.
Eno na ye de ye economic and social developmental policies.
Yes.
But one train at the corner woman no. Mpachomo timase.
Yes.
One train ase. Enti yentie ni okoka no wo Kenya.
All right.
September ye. First 1 month mu.
Yes.
Okay.
President Ruto, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I join other speakers in applauding the Kenyan President, our host, President William Ruto, for his initiative in convening this summit and thank him for his hospitality. A summit to define a common African position towards the deliberations of COP28 in Dubai is a highly commendable one, especially if you can help us define how we can mobilize our own resources to address this critical issue of
Mr. Ahwefo say enye nana adodan kwakufado the president of Ghana and na yeni sano baby a wogina no sa wo a wo hwa me kra na aye Ghana mampani a ka bakọ akọka sasa asem no sa me ana me Ghana mampani a ka makọ akọka sasa asem no if you say eye seat ana say position Ghana wo enu nti na sa anema no ekoso nti nye se bi a ye de president si ho obia wote akonwa so no sa akonwa so sa Ghana mampani no sa na wo be no nti ahwefo ensha no so sa ema ya
2016 ma 15
but when him say etoda obi ahwekro bi betwe no in political lens nti ya pesa ahwefo te ase say baby na na ado gina kasa na Ghana na gina ho na Ghana eye co-chair on advocacy on climate change mbamcha osa no ano nti okasa say akonya a wote so say co-chair on climate change and advocacy no eno nti na ye hu no sa Mbacho yengwe ni.
So obi hwe no political aya. Obi anu say program we.
Enya
political program.
Good.
Ana se wo be ka ne pa nso a. Osanke ye kra no. Aban de edin ko budget mu.
No me
because ye promote climate change. Yes, ye
ni peti ase.
Climate change na se.
Okay.
Ye promote climate change.
Okay.
What you say? Ye yan ni aboafo sika na abetena ha. Ana ye kire climate change mu.
Yes.
We was at GTV for na ye.
Aye.
What you say?
Yes. Ke so be for programming kra no mu show.
Yes. Also komu na ye. Because ye ni ye kire ade no mu.
Dr. Soja ye chia wona enumre.
To ohun se nana se. Ohun se baabi no. Oko graph ko no.
Yes.
O se ye hia 3 trillion US dollars. Enye se kaketo wo.
Dabi.
Na sa no. E Ghana ngwa ni hia na se
the whole entire world. Anna oba Africa no. O ka kire yen se sika ho ayedene. Also na ye advocate. Ti me wo ka no onim. Sika ho ayedene nti ye
mobilize
sika.
Che
say ye me sresre sika. Ye me boabo sika no.
Yes.
Na say amemetia wo ka say mo san ko kramete mo wi amemfa. What you say?
Are
eti ademu yes eti at the moment ya aban be ka say yen ko meborize sika no taxation
the tax never
tax because what you mama was say mama sika
na ko climate change
na mum makatu ya meje
ye beto
o yira meto electricity ametua
yes
the bibi bia be fa so be indirect tax no
phone credit auto
yes
anything auto no near the direct tax
up so
okay
na ya climate change percentage na dey be afrim near the akoto it means say obi bia wo wiase bia no you are contributing
towards climate change because $3 trillion na wo kan ho asem nya America for na dey ba the whole world na etua di wa wo tie mi so
what I say
all right
climate change. Ghana's nationally determined contribution towards combating climate change have been fully incorporated into government's coordinated program for economic and social development.
What's I repeat the same as
yes.
Ghana de no eti wo be kire afa no wo be kire sa de kron
economic and social policy
development policy no ye de NDCs no ahyemu no awo Ghana ha no
yes
what the first one wan kire yen okoduru Kenya no
ho no wo kire
eti Ghana fo nyina meyentie
okay
so o se shase fi 2017 eti e fi 2017 no ba no se sa de no e ho
ampa
policies to facilitate their implementation. We have introduced major policy interventions that have development and climate projection imperatives. Our flagship programs, whether they are the programs for planting for food and jobs, or One Village, One Dam, or One District, One Factory, are all geared towards boosting industrialization and rural development, as well as building our resilience to the impacts of climate change.
What you know?
Yes. One district, one factory.
One district, one factory.
One village, one dam.
One dam.
And
you know, food.
Planting for food and jobs.
Yes. Or see ni na ka
NDCs
no. Policies ya. Ye de promote industrialization. Ye de akebo one can say climate.
Oh, okay.
And what I say?
We be in Sikwa.
Afi. Near get a free 2017 no ban. I am passes hard way a year Juma.
Okodo.
Afi yenti.
The strategic focus of the One Village, One Dam initiative, for example, in the northern regions of our country, is to provide all year-round access to water to smallholder farmers who practically have no viable livelihood alternatives during the long dry seasons. We're also determined to make natural gas, which we have in abundance, available for the generation of electricity.
Natural gas.
We placed a ban on illegal mining, the phenomenon we call galamsey, which was destroying our water bodies, vegetation, and our forests. Some 20,000 young people have been engaged to plant more than 30 million trees in 2 years to create jobs and restore degraded land. These policy initiatives are already using positive results to the attainment of the SDG goals, particularly the goal of reducing our carbon emissions.
Hey, he been sick.
Interesting. Yes. Galamsey. Say NDCs. Me what?
Another home.
Say what I can. I know what I can. You was the back what can you say? What's that?
Planting for food and jobs.
Yes. You want what can come back with this year?
Me refi.
Oh, okay, Galamsey.
What's
that come back with me?
Okay.
And Ada,
Bibi Siko.
And everything is in line with the SDG. What I say? Etina, Adani, can say. Say, Ebeka 6 months. I'm a Ghana to about next year. Ye team policy with what can over winning.
Inti nyam one sama maybe I shall say climate crisis of myself.
Yes, yes. It's not about one yapai. And we know Debbie. It's not about sending to
Nisika we to
Debbie and Yan near the two about Debbie. And you who support the climate change and not yet doing election this time.
Oh, yes, baby.
Yes, and or more person more winners from Moon. Yes. You better throw me your cover for winning lesson. The two men do not can
woman, you may cry, Massa, see hospital, and I can see a discovery bottom, and another can say, yet is class will come there, and young one. Mammy be a funny set to you.
Yes,
Nick crowd or water to crown. Say climate change, women in climate.
And young one. It's a month for more marginal and near muscle.
Okay.
So we climate change in free who can pay more lesson. What I say?
Okay.
And as one me who the physical also could now or a physical and near man
implementations are actually said they are combating climate change.
Yes.
Okay.
Ampa waka galamsey. And I one kind.
Okay.
One shambrano.
Washe. Yes.
One district.
One factory. Ekoso.
Was say a or say a four. Or say a
NDCs in Libya.
What I say? Food for planting.
Planting for food and jobs.
Yes.
And also a kamubi.
Was here no kamubi.
Planting trees.
Planting trees.
Yes. Say over 2 million.
Yes.
Over 2 million trees has been planted, which is maybe true.
Yes.
Because and the Ghana street are doing no Adriania or forest are draw. You can cross here, maybe or home, any or drop, no must say floor.
Yes.
Not just a costrosa.
Yes. And the tree no me could be a NDC. Yep, what the
interesting. All right.
Additionally, I've established an advisory group of prominent private sector chief executives who are setting up a $100 million SDGs delivery fund and a $200 million green fund to complement government's efforts at tackling climate change and funding the implementation of the SDGs.
Not just about $300 million. You are signing on climate change. Very interesting.
Very interesting, Paul.
300 million.
Yeah.
American dollar buruburu no kwa o pepepe Hassan.
Yes. So what say? UTV say, you better combat climate change, but we will develop Ghana as well. The climate change, you know, the priority no was so.
It's any developmental issues.
It is a buy no share. Bibi to say, one district, one factory.
One village, one dam.
School
feeding.
Free
SHS.
Yes.
And then you can win. Sika wade ya sa niyama no. Ese so onye sika sombo chensa eco combat climate change
yes
enu bi ni se enko dua nua ye galamsey yanko ne sa ne ma ne ma no oh okay
what I say enti akwan a ye beye no ehu hia
yes
but ye be dua nua no mo no ye dua nua no so ye akwan ni bi ye nya akwan ni nyina wo na ye bi
the more can on say a news be by say Ghana climate change kakra ya yembo no ye twa sika bi amai it is a climate change because obenya sika dia yo kwan you got to say
okay
climate change na ye kwan na obenya saso so bisi
President Ruto, here in Ghana, we've lost some 100,000 acres of natural forest in the last decade alone. Our timber industry, who generated jobs for thousands of people, is suffering. The odum, wawa, mahogany, sapele, and several other wood species of this timber industry are also depleting at an alarming rate. Apart from their economic value, forests are home to most of the Earth's terrestrial biodiversity and crucial to our fight against climate change. The climate crisis is said to be reaching a tipping point. We are advised by the experts and the teachings of the Paris Agreement of COP21 to keep global temperatures below 1.5 degrees Celsius in order to avoid the worst impacts of climate change. But at the current rate, global warming is projected to reach 3.2 degrees Celsius.
It's other where Tamwa ye lanche 3 planting.
yes
What I say?
na message bi obidi amame or say Samira Bawumia leads climate change conversation at Harvard University.
Exactly. What I say?
Kenya also planted about 15 billion trees in 10 years.
Yeah.
Ne million 15 billion trees in Kenya.
Tie dia ya advice omo mpese omedi oman anim 2024 no say omo system of campaign.
Okay.
Say amegina climate change no so a
Ghana beto abama na uma.
Ube lusu election.
All right.
Aye. Oma. Yes.
Nebi esi Ghana pe yo.
Oh.
Also papa nde ye pe no. Nanso bibi nti. Okay.
Ada. Statement we ohu.
Okay.
Baby a me ko fa no ane da no.
Okay.
And wa ase on.
www.un.org /sustainable development /WP content. I
to be a ko
obehu sanda ho.
Statement by the President of the Republic of Ghana and co-chair of the SDG group of eminent advocates. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo at 2021 SDGs movement at the UN General Assembly on Monday 20th September 2021.
Okay.
T. Aho Anna President Wakasma Yebekinken.
All right.
Or say in September 2019, world leaders at the SDG summit in New York unanimously declared the year 2020 to 2023 as a decade
2030.
of, yes, as the decade of action.
Or say 2019 September and na ewiase mpanimfo nyina ekohyiaye ewo New York ebra na SDG say 17 sustainable development goals no okoye ho meeting na wo mu nyina akan e de tudwa say efri 2020 ekosi 2030 no eye ye friend enfie do a eye anamontuo action just ye yo bibi enye ye ko plan bio ya yo awie na sisia de ye koye adwuma.
Yes,
that's just a 10 years lap and okay,
and called on all member states to step up and scale up significantly actions to give our world a fighting chance of achieving the global goals by the end date of 2030.
na oton safre ewiase ama nyina se obi anye bibi ye hu eda adi anamontu anye so hye ode na woka say yamwa ma ewiase we yamma na hoden no nkuntia ne ha no eye climate change no sabaya botai de esi eni so no enu 2030 no na yetimi akọ
ukonya document na ensem no bebrebe but ne ye hia ye no e wo mu ye o kasa no ana o ka asem bi sadly kire
just awirehosam
let's say wa kan sem wo so ho a 2030 no I say be action yet man fa anya adwuma
yes je awirehosam
sadly a few months after this historic declaration our world was hit by the COVID-19 pandemic, which has since had a devastating effect on lives and livelihoods, and significantly undermine prospects of achieving the SDGs.
O say ya hosam ya ko kan sem we ya ni nahe busumi kakra bi achi de hu ya say akwa bi din the COVID-19 ya de bi o babo yen e fa wiase nyina na o se eno ena de hwamode kese eba wiase a entima amoa mienu sa abotaye ho na sei ni pasetena ene niema na ke beye etimi edu botaye no.
According to statement no. Sankanya COVID-19 no ne ba ya
enka sa abotaye no ka ye adwuma.
Ka ye adwuma. Ti wiase bibi nsi kwa.
Yes. COVID-19 so ne ba ya mo nya suggestion fufuri.
Omude you to aso.
I say, available estimates indicate that in 2020 alone, some 124 million people in the world were pushed back into extreme poverty.
What say? So what the what dream bubua? A free 2020 moon kwa safi nkwano. A nipa beye opepepe eduono 9 24 e wo wiase we mu sa covid ye ba ye dom kohye wo hia buruburu mu a na wo hia ekonkototo anwa so enu bia
with some 132 million people experiencing hunger as a result of the pandemic.
Na opepepe aduasa mienu de wo mu de ekomprada na ewie won sabre mu
o say sustainable development goal no.
Yes
e wo mu say omu betu yare asemeboa omu betu ekomase omu betu ohiase ne 5 years and na covid no ba ya amomentumentu ohiase
sa botaye no
etina bibia ekoso wo wiase omu so wo covid na ko se kanya covid no akietu ohiase we asabwe na nadu ne ekan yo according to statement no
bibia covid-19 obi ne yiri ntimi na akora covid-19 obi akoko tukosua na esua also
covid-19 oh and dem say wutie na small kan dia enti wo say ya awre hosam awre hosam che say kasa de no ama
de o kan Matias e ba o say de enti mam ka so combat me no asemu ya kan akudu ba bia obi dia o de bae no eno na esi ya dia tu do mo de na nkebe yi
da bi o de che no say eye mra no wo hye de abaye adwuma ene na montuo na yare no be say sa na montuo no enti nka mra no de beba
ko metumaye
omomra no
ko tumaye hu ne ma nyina
okay.
I say the net effect of this adverse development is that our world is unlikely to eradicate extreme poverty and hunger by 2030.
What say? Ensunsanso a sai hwemode we de baaye no aboa ma ebeye den pass ye no 2030 no but all this when so obetu hiase no ebetumi abam
ahwa wontimi ti waka e dey say ka covid na amadia because covid no ba between 2019 exactly
November December
2 years o ba bia say ye atwa wo plans no go eti na dwe ya ni say e unlikely na so tie aha any me issue no
okay
the quest to achieve the SDGs has indeed become more doubting, but this cannot and should not deflate our efforts. Rather, this is the time to think big, act big, and act smartly.
What say? Ofra na wo ho se ye betimi aduru sa na montuo no ho SDGs ne bedu ho na mo wo se abaya de ase ohwa entimi mmama se entimi no ho de nanso ensese eba na sa esese ye bibia ye betumi na ye dwene kese ye niema akese near yen and tam sabaya ye betumi adru sabotan
o wo say yantumi die but my ma die no e say yes not deflate our efforts.
Yes,
what I say okay now we hwasem we amid the ongoing detrimental effects of pandemic, I hold the strong view that SDGs remain even more relevant today than ever.
Empobreya sayare ababa say niema na ahaye no me ka kire ye nyina say se me hwepeta takremu a SDGs na 17 sustainable development goals no sesi ehwo behia ne chembere bia
enti say oti o ma bi mu na wotra na wo ye say e kom no minimu aye dina masa susukasa wo because so woti ade na da ho no a
yes
hwe ade a pandemic ni di ye wiase e so still wiase mpelifo ka kire say effect na pandemic ma ye yemfa ye hu ni ehia ye ntisi ye pa de any sustainable development world goals no climate change
e 13 ni shemu no e de ebeduru ho
entina na me ka say nka 5 years o medu o say ye decide say ye beto phone ena bibia bi bom na phone ye ntimi yanto ye obuta say bibia bobom kra beto ba obi di no suggestion ba ye ja ye suggestion no kofa ne de ya koto phone
onim say ye was 17 sustainable development goals ye bomodin say ebeduru ho but ya ko pick ba ku bi
ena me ka kire wi
enti sa anu nko ne nke ebeduru ho
say ba ku so bi na de bai
da bi o 17 ni obi na de bai ni nyina wo ladato simu me pa so me boa ana ye ba ko action
ena me ka sa ba ku ni ni mu a be de do ena me dia ma me ka sa nse yani we ye ka de wiasefo adwene ye wo ena ye ka but yani ye nyankopon na ka kire se de omo ye no wo sere wo
okay
so aga si enti no bibia betimi asihwe date ya no mo hyehyɛ e de na ekoso Israel
eno ya some different okay
o see Israel kasa de aka ni ni
Israel kasa na okay
o see as our world strives to deal with challenges posed by the pandemic, we have to turn the crisis into an opportunity. So what
say we are see ye brand ye tin so sabe ye betumi akwatia the pandemic na ye COVID-19 the buy no as at the same time ye hwese sa how no buy no ebe ya kwanyama ye
and ramp up actions necessary to achieve the SDGs
na eno esese pagya ye na ye to anamo ehia sabe ya SDGs no ye betumi eduru ho
hwe brofo na wo ho no
okay
we should accelerate and deepen our efforts during this decade of action to build a fairer, healthier, safer, and more prosperous world for all.
What say? Since ye see a tutu mirkantantam, na ye shemu kinapa bibia ye bia won fie du away enemy. Sabaya ye benya ade muda ho wa hoden kwan papa e befa so a ye betime nya wiase a ye die wo ma obia
okasa papa ne tibunfo ankasa what I say
okasa
say advocate
we are lawyer
Ghana nyame ache yade yes afehwade I want to emphasize two essential ingredients for the task of building towards better and scaling up actions to hasten progress towards the realization of the SDGs.
The person me see enema mienu iso just eno ne spices a yedi ba ba ye adwuma atimi aboa ma ne esese ye yo no yakwa ne tententem ne yetimi akoduru ye mbota ye ne ho
ne di kan there is a pressing need to bridge the $2.5 trillion SDG financial gap, especially for developing countries.
Ye din kan se ye hia ne den satwene a eda ye ntamu esi kasemu efiri aman a wotu mpon ne oman a efifiri sen no aye America dollar buruburu no 2.5 trillion no esese ye hia ne mprempren esese eba ye dutu sa na mo
etu kan ne woni nyina no a omu hia sika
ehia
okan we sie no o si ya ben 2019
2020 okay no 2019
2019 o kan sa
so okay September 2019 all right
and 2023 no o ko yi so o sa o ka se ye ko mobilize sika what I say
okay
eti omini asema
all can
ana watching a tosu mienu the ability to access and deploy innovative solutions and new technologies will greatly speed up progress towards the goals.
What say the tosu mienu say ye to me ahwe enema just say ye dey ba foforo ene nsano a mfa say solutions just nyano a ye dey ma bibi te say ye use technology was eno babo mirikatuo mantantama mo yetimi akodo butai
and they need what technology and what money ya born tofa e brain nti
okay
and that
media
ye wi na call graphic online
okay
graphic online so reporting ayi na da ho no work ayi no ba bi ho no where ye April 28th 2020
now about 250
yes and what about to panyan amid COVID-19 pandemic SDGs more relevant today than ever before
ebra COVID-19 atiti say but do 17 sustainable development goals no eho hia ne chen de bia
yes na Adodankwa Akufo-Addo and Prime Minister Edna Solberg
okay
omu na ye advocates
yes
no
we Norwegian a prime minister and a Ghana president
omu ni omu ho fe pawo yes okay. Our world today is dealing with a crisis of monumental proportions.
Yen we are seeing na idea. In fact, enema it just say you ani anyi. O hwa anhwe eno na eye hawa ye tu ho anamon.
The vicious novel coronavirus is wreaking havoc across the globe, destroying lives and ruining livelihoods.
Papa ya oje no anye oton no so nton a ye friend coronavirus yi mese wasa yade o wa fawo how they abre wiase a wasa ye niema na mbibia ye tu ho anamon.
The ongoing crisis has reinforced the interdependence of our world.
Wase sa ohawa e koso yi eno na ama say ye de ho ye tu ye ho anamon me hu
o de everyone say abaji wiase
aboso yo
am yentimi nya hwe
intimi okay.
It has brought to the fore the urgent need for global action to meet people's basic needs, to save our planet and to build a fairer and more secure world.
Wase sa de e bae akohia pa say ewiase nyina enkamu nto na monwa ehia sabaya enema ye hia sa ankrankra e wo fom pa no ye betimi enya na aboa ma ewiase egina yi
ya ye wiase ne foforo build a fairer and more secure world. Oh, peaceful world. What is it? Security world.
Yes.
We are faced with common global challenges that can only be solved through common global solutions.
O se ade akotie no nyina ye wo hawa ye nyina wo obi a ne hwe se fa kwan fa so a ye nyina betimi etu ho anamon.
After all, in a crisis like this, we are only as strong as the weakest link.
What say? Or how it is say mu no. Ye nyina wo se esese
Ye ho
ye den.
Yes.
Ti se bibia ye ketwa emfansa mreye mu no esese ye ho ye den.
Ne nti a wo se ye ho ye den no. Ade kwa wo se ye ho den na wo be kire no.
Okay.
This is what the SDGs, the global blueprint to end poverty, protect our planet and ensure prosperity are all about.
Ade aba me ho ye den no se SDGs ne se nyina atimi duru ho a eno ne anamontu of the blueprint no nye de be yi ohia ase na abo wiase we ho ban na amaye nyina die.
Se wiase no ye global challenging.
Yes.
E wiase no aduru crisis a. Ne betumi abo ye ho ban ama ye nya asomdwie ni ahoto. Ama ye de ensa fefo ye furu so no.
Yes.
Any sustainable development
goals.
Enye nyankopon bio. Enye 10 commandments.
There be.
Enye Bible. And enye Quran.
There be.
E pa cha what you say.
Obi anfa ne de
nto ho.
Ne enkofa the SDGs.
Yes.
All right.
The 17
sustainable development goals.
And no say e di wu wiase. And you say wo ye policy wo wiase. Na wo policy no sa nyema we amamu a election wo be lusu.
Ene e kira say asama ya kan ha over 2 years a ye kan say emra bi ba. Se mra no implementation sha ase a aban bi ana president bi a why enforce sa mra no. Ahwe a what term of office no ni.
Na wo ye yi
Donald Trump.
Omu
ko Marrakesh. O ka so we yi America free mo. Ye wan e be ka so bo free election.
Ye de awiu.
When I in a court. Now also ye can TV way so say answer America for about that 2020 no. Donald Trump be lose because of say we in who free sa climate action anymore.
Yes.
And a babe.
Now the gains, I mean, President Biala or criticizing by Hoy.
Oh,
So,
you're two million
say or criticize it, say. Then you will be an overflow wakunya.
Don't know.
Yeah. One well over wakunya. And then young one was say, I think that this was called last week. American president had yet to on we gay.
Oh, your video in your When was that? I'll go Ghana.
Former president.
Yeah, American or Ghana. So, Kodia, Assad and Edwin.
And it's Friday.
A free Monday moving your Ghana.
America, President Jesus, you two do idea how. Never is again on really arrived.
It will be a go and I'll go back to Ghana.
Wow.
As soon as young can lose, I'll go back Ghana. Yes, Nakako Krasi over Ghana.
And
Omunia champion.
And we are simple for Raka Chese. Set LD, you know.
Yes.
Gender equality.
Yes, a woman. Yes.
Omo Raka Chese. A woman essay. BBS and Sabema, one Bema, the Bejai.
According to 7 this is what the SDGs, the global blueprint to end poverty. Because Berman no kofa the young Berman or back ohientro because uncle for me baku was casting back.
Yes.
And he tell me said no no your Berman and I don't know on a help.
Oh yes.
And a man for crash happens to Wuska. I'm this is what the SDGs is, the global blueprint to end poverty, protect our planet and ensure prosperity are all about.
When you secret back home. But I say a production my motive you. And say, sir, almost say Ghana population no dorsal. And no, if you have population, your dorsal don't enter so. Now, it is a member where member they are so mongo. And now, we be who from Nasotiana, and also another.
Okay, yeah, how do you have?
Maybe say, SD, you know, BB at the buy the climbing change.
Yes,
yet I'm not winning mobile. And a climbing change, Mamma, we had to say. If we are essay, was only a tinty, and ye climbing change say.
Young farmer combat, and I am a puntia.
And the SDG, and the Abwa, and my flu.
Yes,
it is all because I'm the SDG now, and what if be as a man, Bema, what a Bema, into Bema, what a Bema, and my climbing change in a guy. I
know you are saying beside you sure more on quite a while, baby. So,
and I was an outcast in me say, yeah, you did carry the President Kayan. Yes, it's like a climate change, you know, pandemic now, to come too much. To assembly wakana.
All right.
Ne sadly no offend sadly
young co-screen so.
Sadly. This ferocious sudden onset pandemic has come at a time when the sustainable development goals were getting good traction and a significant number of countries were making good progress in their implementation.
Was it na ya rehosam? Ya rehosam pa eyempo fremu ya nwene ho de hu yansa hwi bom. Pandemic COVID-19 ababe bom. Na sanya no na ba ya na ke wa man bebre a wanam ontuo no na cheso wanam kwanzo pote no wo gidi se nko betimi eden hyehyɛ na yɛ adwana nko bedu.
Etina bi no hyase de yɛ adwuma.
O sa Ghana
implement
Ghana akra ni yesizi old fridge ni.
Ani sa ne ma ni nyina.
Because that time nya na nya countries bi a omo I started use Sunday, you know.
Sunday.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Now, especially Arab world.
Yes.
It was Sunday. Ubiatifie. Even now, yeah, Kasei.
Tendros one.
Yeah.
One country.
Or more country beer. It was Sunday. Ubiatifie. Uko Dubai now. It was Sunday. All shops apart from the Omoto Mwebiane restaurant. You may shop ubia. Oko Saudi Arabia no ma. In fact, everyone was say. Arab world, no, to sana mon even in tantam check the Europeans.
After COVID-19 no more.
Yes.
Krobi kra de almost san you know ma. Memenda be ye kwasiada.
Oh yeah.
Ti na memenda for kwatabo ina kwa sorry one day.
Oh my friend. E grondi is a savvy you said.
Woman sanda no kra.
Afei. I love this people man power.
Okay.
Me just why I'm president.
Wow.
Oh, I'm telling you the fact.
Yankwe. Enko screen no.
Afei adibi. Sad statement una bofuwe wo priority actions.
Okay.
But what we can afford to do, even at this crucial time, is to shift resources away from priority SDGs actions.
Not just say the betumi aye no say bibia ye wa eye say yensika ya hoden ye bibia no esese ye de koboa SDGs no anamontuo.
Yes. The response to the pandemic cannot be delinked from actions on SDGs.
Anamo ye tuo ama yare ye COVID-19 akono entimi ntwe mfiri anamo esese to the boa SDGs no.
Yes, indeed. Achieving the SDGs will put us on a solid foundation and a firm path to dealing with global health risk and emerging infectious diseases.
What say? No kwasem ye. Say yetimi do SDGs no botae no ho de a. Ebe me wiase we gine ye pa. Ebe to anamo say ebre bia so how foforo bi ba ye betimi akoatia.
Say infectious disease no HIV can be. Okay. The SDGs no eduru oduma ebetuma sa AC no.
Sir, no SDGs no.
Wetimi ayemre bi against SDGs.
Hwe, wo koye mre te SDGs.
Aha. Tio. Say
Amra ba yan so bo amna na no na ko daga.
Any ma Ghana for ngase ye gay ye stop no.
Na ho na aka.
Ena ye no nguso amo ya.
Oh.
Oh. Enye.
Eno
me say enchakwa.
Eno aka SDG me ade ba ko mpesa hwe 40 e ka ho bi.
Me say enchakwa benya video a ba be ka say SDGs no. Ayi no. Gay no. Eye national determine ayi ni bia. O de nche me ho ya video. O say ya kwada.
All right.
O say as the world responds to the effects of this brutal pandemic and seek to restore global prosperity, we must focus on addressing underlying factors in the content of the sustainable development goals.
What say? Ebra ewiase to anamo na ye hwe ohawo a sa pandemic e COVID-19 e de aba no. Esese bomodin bia say wiase we anase global ye die no ye be sign de asiwo biem na ade a ye tu ho anamo timi de SDGs na ye adwuma no ye kura mo denden.
Sa wi ne wo ho no.
Yes.
Mpanifo no mo ko hia wo na no mo kasa no.
All the president. Do mo gina mo wiase.
Very good. It means say mo ye nya wo mu wo do mo ntro nka je say ye nya kwan. Ho mo ntro nka je say komo de yen. O mo ntro nka say ye de ye focus wa ne say
ye hwe SDG.
Ye de SDG.
Say me on your mo kan. Say SDG ni koso a. Wo kwan ne beba. Say SDG ni nko so abere akwan na ba.
Afiti o say we must not and cannot relent in our efforts even amid this painful pandemic. While some of the gains on the SDGs have been eroded, they should not deflate our efforts. They should rather spur us on to accelerate and deepen our efforts during this decade of action to recover better and build a healthier, safer, fairer, blah, 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 blah. So, necessary in avoiding future pandemics.
Okay, say, as I say, that na ye di ensa she dem reform say yentu anamo ebra pandemic no ade wo how kase abre na say as SDGs ni ye gu baabi as say ye bibia ye betumi na yetu anamo sabaye ye betumi akoduru saati bia no ye duru ho a ewiase atimi ayeye na bibia ayeka
afi ada ye ka we na ye de asi no.
Okay.
Papa bi ye fe no George Nyavo.
Okay.
September 6 2023 at 5 p.m. and we post to Saudi website now.
Okay.
Or say Akufo-Addo makes strong case for developed countries to assist Africa financially to fight climate change. Wednesday, September 2026, blah 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 blah.
Na chasa Ghana man penny na na Akufo-Addo wo to anamon bebre kase pa wo ewiase anim say Africa ye hia sika bot dwete pa say betimi de akontia climate change.
Nana Akufo-Addo has said it is not right that African countries are not being supported, according to George Anyavono, financially to fight climate change. He said, although Africans contribute very little to the climate change, the continent faces the worst of its effects and gets blamed for it the most. The president told dignitaries at the African Climate Summit 2023 held in Nairobi, Kenya, that it should be fair for developed countries to support Africa financially to fight climate change.
Was in an Akufo na Ekase and was say. And yes, Africa for no as I hear the climate change yen to me view. Ye more na de but so how I say climate change na ban e ho how no nye yo ye nye ne kofa bae wo na yo mu mfidie na ese wiem but e ho how no ye na e ba ye nso enti mu omonye sika twitwiri die no momfa bi mra Africa for na ye mfa nkuntia
video wo de support we no
we president now oh boss ha de ru ya e be de na ye mo sika na wi
exactly the tia meka we ni nyina ne say ensem bi wo budget ni
Ghana etu anamo a emre bi efa climate change ho no enkase we me president
etina ye this time we because yanti we yase a ye wura budget ni mu a ye ntin nsem bi ase because nsem bi wo budget ni mu
o kan say from afibi kura sky bi na no the whole yin bisada so kan billion
according to akwano ma report no tell say tama president no kasa asem
yes
o kan sem bi wo
all right
akwano no say swap our debts for climate intervention what I say
a car ye near before ye dey no
yes
mo fan change say climate change no e no na e dey ko
very good
okay
enti ya dey
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I thank President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, the government and people of the Arab Republic of Egypt, for their warmth of hospitality to the Ghanaian delegation since our arrival in this ancient historic country, and express our appreciation to the President for hosting this all-important Conference of Parties, COP27, the fifth such on African soil, which has been so well organized. Today, extreme climate occurrences.
Ada, a brilliant home. My video we don't to.
A rare portion.
Yakopo de nkwachen yes e tie da ne ye kan nyina ne say climate change no ene ewiase development ene Ghana development no ye mpanimfo no a ewo wiase no o madwene wo climate change no so dodo so some the following go no madwene wo so
yes
na 17 nyina no o madwene wo climate change no so more
e che ni nyina
e ti climate change no a ye kan ho asam say omode kwasiada emra abeshim no
obi ntimi stop ade all right obi anso ntimi stop ambition so oben century no nobody just a one call Otac School of Journalism and Communication Studies so ko hon ade a nobody can
once we strike
if you say ubehunu ohun ye na ebebo amwate adwuma na se enti bra kumase asonwase eni menhia government hospital ne di nhwanim Brahma Otac for entity na bitimi ben se journey papa from 0547 823 005 0547 823 005 and 0243 842 007 me pa chow said you obi ntimi stop climate change action na eba no sa na wire resans obi ntimi stop no just one call Chris Faith Natural Hair Clinic e wo kuma se put you ja station ho so ko nko ade a ayeti se tree na ti free no eye gugum na wanya oyare sa na okofie no otuma koyi odwuma masisi ade nyonto ho na woka na so sugar konia mu obibiduro na ohonto kompo no beko etwere no beko ene ne ekeka ho ni nyina mesigi atata sabio ene obi anani abo ena Dr. Abraham ene ne ba Dr. Isaac intimensa from 0555 639659 na 0242 386584 eda wo mase papa meko amanoso na ebiana obi kura information change sei na yetimi netting ko 0322495302 0322495302 ofra no adwum TV set no na yedin komo hello ojina so nkasa abayafo na all right hello hello what's the name didn't baby akasa free okay brother David meet you
the van tell me that the number about solid program amoye no program cover
All right.
Let's just coronavirus in the bag for the next in the bag. And somehow I say, I've been Emily actually say, and so I'm okay. I know catching you. Or catching up in my young Kodabi, you know, say, and one now, or to catch it. I'm over me and the other, I'm more considered my pants for my gun and I'm about to go as I do so. And come on.
I'm ready, I say. Also, with me, Afrebi, number on the wall screen is no. Holly. Mpacha Jumbo TV set and I in come away. Holly.
Hello.
Yeah, we didn't baby akasa free.
Hello, Diana Imanoranchi. A dear you name me by a friend Santo.
All right, Santo Yeti.
Ada, and Yamopa, the uncle who be asking in a moon. And Miss Papa. Let us answer me with the and I can say, it's Muti, yes, Uncle Muti, Mukwechi. You know, beer to me, TD, we are seen no beer TD, never made up on a phone. There's a man by my inquire. A bomb by Mamma Samubinia, what in Yankupon Bessamodina. Baby, at me, I cost a may be a tea. Yeniachi Papa and some of the man. Momma Yeniachipa, and I mean, Cosum come on sham. And one another dimbla.
In
Yaman.
Yes, all right.
Will be any duty. Yet I must hear that.
Yes, that's in Yanka and then baby, Nasabi on Peninsula, Mamma Tashi of some crane to Menina, no Jacosikuma. Indeed, Kakra. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening. Very many.
Yeah. Where?
Yakuba Darum and also
Adams.
All right.
That means that I'm going to go Mundra. Don't go to Shaft once. I know what teach us and last. If you can change any Pama, whom you yet take the neighbor, Madonna, you can call you swing and there. That's Shaft one.
Yes.
Until you bring you and young one said, they were assuming Yassi. Now so sad air Cosina, who be in that Otiasi. Until Yakubo don't go on to me, I'm going to say, won't teach us and I say, the moon teacher, you may echo soon. Tell ya, but Jimba, yes, that's in Quadino. You to me, you're going to see, you're going to Edda, the same for that is I'm saying. You didn't need the other one. So, what did you now for me day, never 10 any of swing answer, 10 1, never more buying. Muntum goes on the check, we say, yes, you go in Yamo, the market.
All right. In where you might say there was a minor, na ye pese, the Omashe National Sunday Law, a friend of Samoa.
Samoa.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, we didn't baby akasa free.
The family maybe Douglas make us free to the Ashanti radio.
All right. Meet you, Douglas.
Already Yango Ponshamo, Ujumadia, Modi at the Buama, you Christo Maya no Behaben. Now you go so show me and say, Moveno hang your quadra. Now, the council more baby, and you did a Christo careful, you know, about providing now amount for so after the Pano, Radin Shamo.
Yeah, that's CP Radin. I'm coming from my last caller. And then you made them say, my phone lines not a boy pa, in with the hot camera. Last caller. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, to pronomo. My last caller now.
Hello.
Yeah, we didn't baby akasa free.
Hello.
Jom who TV set and I in come.
Hello. Hello.
What's a man can? All right. Went to me. Hello. Hello. Waje ahumana bosu. Abajafo ye na yako. Natural say. Obi ntimi ntena Ghana hanka so were ba Ghana de anyintum. Ghana ye striker.
Yeah.
Team no a elbow match no. Ghana gina number 10 ho.
You kudusu no.
Kudusu no.
The your person a catch after for say.
Yes.
And yet climate change no ho nsem no hia yi bibre. Ne mu san hye no mo de ba ntie ne ye ka climate change no.
Yes.
Bibi shase
behind.
Ekuti anyam SDG no. Ye nim kura ni nim se mienu de ekuti onyankopon. Ye nim
gender equality. any climate action
no ekutia onyankopon na no so no mu begina mu a obi antimi nsan because eno ene ba ya kase ye ntu ohia se a hwana pa ohia woni fi ana ne kurum nti obi a support eye but sad ne enu na aba no bibi e hyase no enu na ehu se mo kate kobe ne be ha om kobe no so na abo a wo maka me ahye ne be ye nyuma
oh yo ajabatu ye ko me braso
kada da bia no nyankopon na ya me dana se
right
you say to da na wo da na wo namwa ubeti anse ko hwe ha obekọ no
na bibi wo ho
ti nyankopon na dana ko aka kire se o ma bibi nsi na ya na mesre yen ya ye kasa yi ene etiefo no se yen sre awurade no am ya amra mu ko zo pon we mu nyina echi no si anfo yen wanto nyankopon so ya ye betuma bregu
all right
yes enti no enye me ya ade wo ya ade ho asem ne kana
okay
na ne ye kana se awurade hu ye mobo na ya amra mu
okay awurade hu ye mobo na ya amra mu dia na me ka kire so won so betuma ye bi aboa ma awurade hu mobri aba won so eno ana se kakra bi e won nsem no fato 0592 412244 0592 412244 osande sika edin eba e kofi dwa apia yeda mo ase edemo sie nakopon ya adoma ochena between 7 and 8:30 yede adesua we nto aso ebeba na obete niam ase na ohun baby wiase we adru mede usi ha ote osampakani Matidonko enka osampakani anoche the Roxin ote enka bidin de osampakani Augustine apia emre ema bye bye.
Tem fiasi haye fe Senya uya oto breu Sabri payi una miti